Hello, sir.
Yes. Okay. Let me start our.
Muted.
Yeah, we talked about blank report. If you want to create a report in the crystal, first you need to click on blank report. If you want to create a new report, report with the new connection, so once you click on blank report in the crystal, it will take you into database expert. If you want to create a new connection, you just need to expand, create new connection. If you want to create a connection on universe, just go to universes, expand universes. There you need to enter your BO username password. Now I'm just trying to take a universe from dev server, that's why I enter SAP dev as my BO server name and my username password. So once you enter your login credentials, once you enter login credentials for your BO dev server, you can see universes there in the dev and take your required universe as a source. Just click on open so that it will appear all the available objects in the universe. Just drag and drop and make a query. I'm just creating a query with the year comma, quarter comma, month comma, sales revenue comma quantity sold. So now I created a report with these 3 plus 2 5 objects, 3 dimensions and 2 measures, and then when you click on OK, the query is created between your crystal report and connection is created between your crystal report and the eFast universe there in the dev server. If you want to use this dev server as a source for the crystal report, just select that connection and click on right arrow, click on right arrow, click on OK. Once you click on OK, the objects whatever you dragged and dropped into the query, that objects will be appeared here. That objects you can see in the field explorer. So if you want to use these objects in the crystal, you just need to drag and drop into details tab. I just dragged and dropped the details tab here, quarter, a month. If you want to take a month, please drag and drop the month. If you want sales revenue, please take a sales revenue. So now you have a year, quarter, month sales revenue. And if you want to see the results of these objects, just click on refresh. There you can see the data. This you call as a report. If you want to add a filter, report level filters. Yes, you created the report, right? If you want to apply group, if you want to subdivide this report into each year one group. For example, here when you see you have a data 2001, 2002, 2003. If you want a 2001 one group, 2002 one group, 2003 one group, and if you want to apply subtotals, you can apply. If you want to apply a group, you just need to go to insert. There you have a group, and select. Now I'm trying to apply a group on year, so I selected year object here, and a group I want in ascending order. So click on OK. The group will be replicated with the ascending order. When you see first set of records is for 2001 and first set of records is for 2001 and second set of records is for 2002 and if you want to apply a total, you just need to go to insert, summary. If you have a requirement to apply a grand total for each sale, you see total on sales revenue, I selected sales revenue. And if you want to apply a sum, go to sum. And if you want to apply sum for each group, if you select your summary location as a grand total, it will give a grand total, one total for all years. So if you want to take a total for each year, that time you need to select group name as a summary location. I just selected year group as a summary location. Click on OK. This time it will create a total for each group, total for each year group, as well as you'll get a grand total for all years. So this is a way you can create your group and subtotals. And if you want to hide a data for 2001, if you want to apply a report level filter in Crystal, if you want to apply report level filter in the Crystal, you need to go to report. There you have a select expert. There you have select expert. There you have a record. If you want to apply a filter on year group, just select year, click on OK, and this is apply. I'm just creating a filter year. Year is greater than. For example, I want to show only 2000 to 2003. That time I will put year is greater than 2001. Year is greater than 2001. Click on OK. This time you can see data only for 2002 and 2003. 2002 and 2003. That means if you want, you can apply a report level filter. Till now, what I did is I make a connection. in the database expert between your Crystal report and the universe with year, quarter, month, week, sales revenue. And when you click OK, it will make a connection. Then select that connection and add to right side, add to right, and that objects will be appeared in the field explorer. Then later, if you want to use that object in the report, you need to drag and drop that objects into the details tab. So that time report will be created. If you want to apply a group on the report, that time you need to apply a group for year, and later you applied the total for each group, and as well as you applied the filter for a report to hide a data for 2001. You hided the 2001 and only you are displaying 2000 to 2003 data. That you have done in the select expert. And if you want to add any chart, you just need to go to insert. There you have a chart. Select the chart. Always I told you the chart you need to put in the report header, not in the page header. The reason is I told you if you put in the report header, the chart will be repeated in only one page, not in multiple pages. If you take any chart component, that always in the first page, not in all pages. If you put in page header or page footer or details tab, the data will be repeated in multiple pages. So that's why always the recommended is chart you always need to put in the report header or report footer, not in the page header, page footer, not in details tab. Yes. Anyway, you make your chart. This is a way you can make your chart, and this is a way you can make a chart. And if you want to save this to enterprise, you just need to go to save, and if you go to enterprise, that time you can see your folders there in the BO server, and then you need to give your name of the report and click on save. Report is saved into the BO server, and the end user can access your report from the InfoView portal. End users can access your report from InfoView portal. This is the way you can create a report. In the blank report you can create like this. So now let me create a report with the new. There is a report called as a standard report. That means a report wizard. I want to create a report with now by using report wizard. So that time you need to select standard report. I'm just clicking on standard report. So this time also, if you click blank or standard report, if you click blank report or if you click report wizard, it will directly take you into the database expert. In the database expert, you need to create a connection. I'm just taking data from Universe, so that's why I'm creating a connection for Universe. Expand your universes. Then if you want to make a new connection, please click make a new connection. And if you want to take eFashion as a data warehouse source, just select eFashion, click on open, then drag and drop year, quarter. I'm just creating a report by using report wizard, not blank report. See, the report wizard will give step-by-step assistance for us to create a report. I'm just creating year wise, quarter wise, state-wise, city-wise sales and margin price. Then click on OK. That means it created your query. Then that query you need to add to the right side. Then here it will be a step, click on next. So that then it will ask us choose the information to display on the report. If you go in the blank report, once you added the query, you need to go to Field Explorer, then you need to drag and drop into Details tab. But if you take Report Wizard, it will give you the assistance. It asking you to add a fields to the report. So that means if you select this, or if you want to add all fields, when you select this, that means indirectly you added all the fields from Field Explorer to Details tab. Details tab. Click on next. Then it will ask you to apply group. If you want to apply a group on year, please select year. If you don't want to apply, please don't apply. If you want to apply a group on year and group on year quarter, so just select that particular two objects here, year as well as the quarter. So I just selected year and quarter. So now the group it is applying on year as well as quarter. Year as well as quarter. If you don't want, don't apply because it is optional. If you want to apply, apply. Otherwise, leave as a blank. Click on next. Okay, grouping. So same what you did in the blank report, same it will give a step-by-step assistance here. There you applied one by one blank. There you have to apply. There you have to derive your steps, but here it will give you steps. So group, it will ask you to apply a group, and as well as it will ask you to apply a total. Now total you are going to apply summarized fields, sales revenue, margin price. Yes, I want to apply a sales revenue, sum of sales revenue, I am applying a sum of sales revenue, summarized field of sales revenue. So if you want to apply summary field sales revenue, please select. Otherwise, if you don't want any summary, remove that. If you want to apply a sum on sales revenue, just select sales revenue here, click on right arrow. That's all. It will apply a summary for sales revenue. Then if you want to apply a max or minimum for each group, here you need to select max or minimum. If you want to apply sum, please apply sum. Click on next. Then it will ask you to select the sorting. If you want to display top 5 groups, or if you want to display some groups, bottom 5 groups, or if you want to select other, you can select. But if you want to display all, don't select anything here. Click on next. If you want to show any chart, select the required chart, pie chart. Now you are creating a pie chart based on years and sales revenue. Click on next. Then it will ask you if you want to apply any filter, please apply. If you want to apply a filter on a year, so let's just select a year into this side, select your operator, and select your operand so that you can apply filter. If you don't want to apply any filter, please don't create any filter. If you don't require, if you have a requirement, then please select. If you don't have a requirement, please don't take this. Then click on next. Then here you have a lot of templates. If you want to apply a required template, please apply the required template so that your report will be created like this. Click on finish. So that is the way you can use your, click on OK. That's the way you can create your report with the what you call as report wizard. When you talk about blank report in the blank report you need to derive your steps. When you click in the blank report, you need to derive your steps. But when you talk about report wizard, it will give step-by-step assistance. It will give step-by-step assistance. It will give step-by-step assistance to create a report. So both are same. Both are same. Your blank report and report wizard are same, but in the blank report you need to derive your steps. But report wizard, it will give a step-by-step assistance. It will give step-by-step assistance. So this is a way you can make your report by using report wizard. So when you talk about report wizard, when you click report wizard, it will ask you to say, it will take you into the database expert. There it will ask you to create a connection. Once you created the connection, then you add a connection to the right side. Then you need to click next. Then it will ask you to apply group. If you have a requirement to apply group, please select that particular fields. If you don't want to apply a group, don't select any field. Click on next. Later it will ask you to apply summary. If you have a requirement for applying total, please apply summary. If you don't have a requirement, please click on next. Click on next. Then later, it will ask you to select any filter you want. Just select a filter, record selection. Later it will ask you to select a chart. If you want to apply any chart, please select a chart. And later it will ask you to select the template. If you select a required template, the data will be written according to the template. This is a way you can make your own crystal report by using report wizard. Next, if you want to create a Crosstab report wizard, you need to go to File, New, Crosstab report. Yes, I want to make a Crosstab report on same universe. Make new connection. Then you need to select your required universe here. I'm just selecting a required universe. I want to make a Crosstab report by using year, quarter, sales revenue. For the Crosstab report, minimum you need to select a 2 dimensions, 1 measure. I selected 2 dimensions as year, quarter, and 1 measure is sales revenue. Once you created your query, click on right arrow, click on next. Then you need to select years into columns, quarter into rows, and sales revenue is a summary field. That means when you talk about Crosstab must have a columns and rows as well as summary fields. Columns, rows, summary fields. Column, year into columns, quarter into rows, and sales revenue into summary fields. Column wise years, row wise quarters, and intersection is summary fields. Click on next. Then it will ask you to select a pie chart. If you want, you can change the columns and rows. If you want to put quarters into rows, please select quarters into rows. And if you want to put quarters into columns, years into rows, yes, you can change it. Just select year, and that year you need to redirect to the rows. Anyway, quarter I redirected into the columns, sales revenue anyway summary field. Then click on next. Then if you want to select a required chart, please select required chart. If you want a pie chart, please select a pie chart. Here it is writing a chart on quarter and sales revenue. If you want to see the chart on year wise, you can change the year object in the x-axis here. Click on next. If you want to apply any filter on year, for example, you have a year 2001, 2002, 2003 data. If you want to display only 2002, 2003 data in the chart and as well as Crosstab, that time you need to select year and apply a filter here. If you want to apply a filter is greater than 2001, this time the report will display data for 2002, 2003 in the chart as well as Crosstab. Click on next. Then here you have a lot of templates. Select your required template. If you don't want to apply any template, if you want to take original template look like this. Click on finish. Now the report is created with the Crosstab format in column wise column wise. When you see your column wise you have quarters, row wise you have years, row wise you have a years, and in the pie chart when you see you have only 2 years data. The reason is you applied the filter for 2001 data, it is displaying only for 2002 and 2003. 2002 and 2003. There's a way you can make your crosstab report. So now till now I talked about blank report wizard, blank report wizard, and crosstab report wizard. Crosstab report wizard. This is a way you can make your own crystal report by using these three ways. So now let me create a crystal report on top of WSDL URLs. If you want to make a crystal report on top of WSDL URL, first you need to get a WSDL URL from the customer. Right now I don't have a WSDL URL, but I can make my own WSDL URL by using Korea's web service. I want to show how to make a crystal report on top of WSDL URL. But in the real time, they will give you the WSDL URL. You just need to take a WSDL URL as source and create a crystal report. But right now I don't have any WSDL URL. First I'll make one WSDL URL by using Korea's web service. Later I'll take that URL as a source. But making WSDL URL is not your task. In the real time they'll send you the WSDL URL. If you want to make a WSDL URL, there is a tool called as Korea's a web service. Korea's a web service. You just need to go to Korea's a web service. Then click on add. You just need to give all the details for BO. Our BO server name is SAP Dev. I'm just configuring Korea's web service. I hope you know how to configure this. And I'm just trying to create one URL. That URL I will take as a source. I'll create a crystal report. Let me create a URL, but in the real time they will send you the URL. You need not to create a URL. URL they will create by using Java or .NET, and later they will give that URL. Just you need to take that URL as a source. I'm just trying to create a new query. Let me create a new query. I'm just entered a query name. I'm trying to create a query on particular anyone in universe. Take anyone in universe, but in the real time that data source may be anything, or OLTP or any data source. They can create a URL by using Java or ABAP web services. Once they created URL, they will send it to you. They will send us the URL. Once they send the URL, you need to take that URL as a source. But I don't have a URL, that's why I'm just taking a sample URL. Year, quarter, month, sales revenue. Click on next. Click on publish. Now you have a URL. This URL I want to take as a source for my crystal report, and I want to create a new report. If you want to take this URL as source, and if you want to create a report, what you need to do is you need to create, if you want to create a report, you can create a report in either blank report or with the standard report. If you want to create a report by using standard report, just select standard report. Then it will take you into database expert. Now you are going to create a report on top of XML and web services. You just need to expand XML and web services. Once you expanded your XML and web services, you're going to use a web service data source. So select use web service data source option. Click on next. Here you have a local WSDL URL or use HTTPS WSDL URL. When you see your URL, you have a HTTPS, you have a HTTP in the URL. That's why you need to select HTTPS WSDL URL. Click on next. Click on next. Click on finish. Now the URL is created. The connection is created between your your Crystal report and the WSDL URL. And when you expand this WSDL URL, the WSDL URL will create a metadata as well as service responses as well as table/rows. It will create 3 methods, but as per our requirement, we want a table, means columns and rows. So that's why you need to expand that connection and select always third method. Click on right arrow. When you click on right arrow, it will ask you to submit a parameters for the WSDL URL, but you need not to care about all the parameters. But only one thing is you need to enter your username and password for the database. Now my URL is taking data from Universe. That Universe is there in the dev server. That's why you need to enter your dev username password, your BO dev username password. For example, if they created URL in Oracle on top of WSDL database, so that time you need to use Tiger, because the URL will go and talk with the particular database. That time it will ask authorization. So that time you need to enter your username password. That username password. But here my URL is talking with the Universe. Universe is there in the dev server. That's why you need to enter your BO dev username password. I entered username as administrator and password is blank. That's why I am making blank. Click on OK. So your response is added. Then click on next. So it will display all the fields available in the URL. See, I'm just communicating URL. URL is giving what are the fields there. So this fields is coming from BO dev server Universe. So that's why I entered BO dev username. Okay. If you want to display report with the year, quarter, sales revenue, click on next. If you want to apply any group, please apply group. If you don't want group, please don't apply group. If you want to apply any filter, please apply. If you don't want a filter, don't apply filter. If you want to select any template, please select a template. You have a lot of templates here, different kind of templates. Select your required template, whatever you want, so that report will be created with the template. If you want this template, or if you want to this particular template, click on finish. That means this report you created on top of WSDL URL. But I don't care how they created that URL. Our story starts from the URL. Once they gave a URL, you have a URL, you can create a Crystal report. Once they gave URL, you need to ask the database username password. If that URL is talking with the QuickBase database, that time you need to ask QuickBase username password. That QuickBase username password you need to pass while adding a query to the Crystal report. Now I created URL on top of Universe. That's why I entered my BO dev username password. There's a way you can make your Crystal report on top of WSDL URL also. WSDL URL also. This is a way you can make. And if you want to highlight a data, then you need to go to format. This is a concept called as a highlighting expert. In the highlighting expert, if you want to create a new highlighting expert, click new. You are trying to write a condition based on sales revenue. When you see here, you have a fields. There you have a lot of fields. If you want to take sales revenue, just select sales revenue. Sales revenue is greater than some value. If you want to create a If you want to highlight data, if the value is greater than this, then select the data. I want to put font color green and background color some color, this color, and borders. If you want to put single box, you can. If you want to put double box, you can. And then if you want to click OK, just click on OK. It will be highlighted the data which are having greater than that value. See, 58091 is not greater than to that. That's why that is on same color. But other data, whatever there, that all will be appeared to that particular format. This is a way you can highlight your data also, that we discussed. If you want to import a sub-report, if you want to call other sub-report, click on sub-report, choose an existing report, choose an existing report, then you need to browse for the new report, browse. If you want to take report 1 into this side, just click on open, just click on OK. Then it will ask you to place your sub-report. I'm just placing my sub-report after this report, so that it will be added in the last. See, we have this report. And as well as if you go to the first page, you have this report as well as you have a sub-report also. You have both. This is the way you can add your own report. And if you want to call a report, let me go Control Z. If you want to call other report, I'm sorry. If you want to call other report, for example, I want to call a some report by using hyperlink. I don't want to include a physical report in the report. This is my main report. In this report, I want to call other report. When I click on mouse, that means I want to call other report with the hyperlink. If you want to call other report by using hyperlink, you just need to go to insert. I'm just taking a text object. In the text object, I'm just writing name as webi. This is my text object. I want to highlight this text object. Go to format text, borders. If you want, you can select single border. I'm just selecting single border, single border. So that means your text box is highlighted, and this you want to put in center. Please align to center. You align into the center. Then now my requirement is, when I click on this webi, I want to call a webi report, other webi report. That time you just need to right click on the text box, go to format text, there you have a hyperlink, select hyperlink, then you need to select a website on the internet. If you want to create an enterprise hyperlink, please click on create enterprise hyperlink, browse. If you want to call this particular webi report, navigate to that webi report, click on open, before clicking on open, see, there is an option, let me create a new hyperlink. So, create enterprise hyperlink, browse. I'm browsing for this particular webi report. Just select that particular webi report, click on open. Then you need to enable include server name in the URL. Click on OK. This time the existing URL will be overridden. Then click on OK. So that means you added a hyperlink here. When user clicks on this particular webi, it will call that particular webi report. This way also you can call a other webi report. If you want to include a report into the current report, that time you need to go to insert sub report. If you want to call other report, I think it is calling. It's blacked. So generally when you click here, I think there is a blacks in my report. Problem is I'm in 2008 server. I have a some problem. I think my website is blocking here. So in the real time, when you click on particular particular URL, it will call other report. It will call other report. Now I think there is a problem with my uh, browser settings. That's why it's blocking somewhere. It's blocking that URL somewhere. Generally, if you click, then it will call that report. So that is a way you can call your hyperlink also. Your report also, you can call that report also. This is a way you can make your own crystal reports. And now I want to modify an existing query for this report. I have a report. I want to modify the query for this report. I want to add a week to the report. That time you need to go to database. There you have a query panel. Then your query. Click on edit. Then you can add your own object, new object. Click on OK. The new object will be added here. See, week will be added here. If you want to add to the report, go to design mode. Then take a week. Take a week and add to detail tab. I just added to the detail tab. This is your group. Okay. Then click on preview. Data will be added to this report. Week is also added to the report. That's the way you can modify an existing report, existing query also. Modify the existing query for the report also. And if you want to insert a new Excel dashboard to this particular report, you just need to go to insert. There you have a plus, browse. You just need to browse. If you want to take this particular sample as WF, click on that sample as WF, click on OK. Then it will ask you to keep somewhere. I'm just keeping my dashboard in the bottom of this report. I want to keep here. That means I'm putting in the page footer. That will be appeared here, and you can play with that particular dashboard also. If you want to play with this dashboard, you can comfortably play with this dashboard also. So that means today we talked about how to make a report by using a report wizard, and how to make a report. See, you can play with this dashboard also in the crystal report itself. Let me play. If you want to play, you can click here, same like your Excel sheets. That means you can call your web report into crystal. That means you can call your crystal report into crystal. You can call your Excel dashboard also into crystal. That is, you call as a sub reports. These are all you call as a sub reports. These are all you called as sub reports. Today we talked about how to make a report by using report wizard, and as well as how to make a report by using Crosstab report, and how to make a report on top of WSDL URLs, and how to call a other web report by using a hyperlink, how to insert a class object, or how to insert a sub report into the current report that we discussed. As well as we talked about highlighting expert, as well we talked about groups, we talked about subtotals, and we talked about report level filters by using report and select expert, selection expert, select expert. These are all we discussed today. And next agenda is we'll see how to make a OLAP cube report wizard. If you want to create a report on OLAP cubes, that time you need to go to file, new, or if you are in the home page, that time you have a OLAP cube report. So we talked about standard report. Standard report means report wizard. It will give a step-by-step assistance. Blank report means you need to derive your steps. You need to create your own steps. No assistance. Crosstab report. It will give a step-by-steps to create a crosstab on any source. If you want to create a crosstab on Bex, please select a Bex query as a source. If you want to build a crosstab as a source, crosstab on universe you can make. Crosstab on other data source you can make. OLAP cube report. When you click on OLAP cube report, it will take you into the OLAP data wizard. There you have two options. Select cube and select CAD file. I want to select a cube. We are going to create a report on cube. Select a cube, and if you want to add a cube, you just need to click on add. Click on add. Then it will ask you, for example, your cube is there in Hyperion. Your cube is there in Microsoft database. Your cube is there in SAP. Your cube is there in other database. You just need to select that database and username password so that it will display all the cubes which are available in that particular database. Now server type. I'm going to select a server database as SAP Business Information Warehouse. That means I'm going to select a cube now from SAP cube as source, and select SAP Business Information Warehouse and give the name of the caption connection. I'm just giving connection as sample 10. Then it will ask you to enter your host and all details for the SAP. I'm just typing a host as SAP dev. System number 03. Username SAP user or my username. Think dev system. Client 001. Language EN. Test connection. Let me check whether I entered right username password or right login credentials. Yes, I entered right login credentials. That's why compatibly it's connecting with the SAP. If you want to connect with the Hyperion, then you need to, in the drop down, you need to select Hyperion. Microsoft. Wherever you have a cubes, you can connect. There is no limitation for the database. You can talk with any database if you know that database name, username, passwords. But now I have only one data warehouse access. That one database access, that is SAP. That's why I entered my SAP login credentials. I am connecting with the SAP. In the real time, if they requested to create an Hyperion, that time you need to ask Hyperion database name, username, password. Hyperion database name, username, password. Once you know that username, password and Hyperion name, just select in the drop down as Hyperion space, and username, passwords in the below. Once you entered your username, password, you just need to click on OK, so that it will display all the cubes there in the SAP in the sample 10. When you click sample 10, it will display all the cubes there in SAP, and when you expand info cubes, it will display all available cubes. Select your required cube. Whatever the report you want, you can select. I'm just selecting for report 2. Then click on open. This time you can see all the objects there in that particular info cube. Yes, it is selected the cube. Then click on next. Once you click on next, by default first two objects will be mapped with the columns and rows. When you talk about OLAP cube report wizard, it will create a crosstab. In the crosstab, you have a columns and rows, right? Columns, it will be selected customer, and rows, it will be selected production. if you want to change, if you want to make calendar month as a column, just select calendar month. If you don't want customer, please remove the customer. And if you want to change this also, please change. If you want to put customer ID here, just select customer ID to rows. If you don't want production ID, please remove the production ID. There's a way you can change. If you want to make a crosstab by using calendar month and customer ID, that time you need to select calendar month and customer ID. Then click on next. When you see below, there is an option called as select row members. If you click select row members, see you have a customer C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7. If you want to display only C1, C10, C2, C3, that time you need to select C1, C10, C2, C3. But if you are not selecting any value, that time it will display all customer IDs. Okay, that time please don't select any row members. When you see your create/edit parameters, that time name of the customer ID. If you want to change, you can change here. You can change. If you want to display same name, that time please don't disturb this. If you want to apply filter on customer, if you want to display only few customers, you need to select only few customers here. If you select all customers, that time it will display all customers. And when you see in the columns also, same options you have. Select column members. You have a calendar month. When you see in the calendar month, you have a lot of months here. If you want to display only few months, that time select that few months. So that time data will be displayed only for few months. If you want to display all months, please don't disturb. Okay, click on next. When you click on next, it will ask you to select the key figure name here. When you see here, you have a lot of calendar, currency, all currency, unit of measures, all unit of measures, and the key figure. You have a production quantity. So just select a production quantity into this. Here you have a production quantity. Click on OK. That means rows you selected some characteristic, columns you selected some characteristic, page means intersection you selected a key figure. Key figure called as a production ID. Sorry, a production quantity. Then click on next. Then it will ask you to select any template. If you don't want template, please select next. If you want to create any chart, please select that particular chart. So this time you are writing a report for level 0. I want to write customer ID and customer ID. Anyway, it will take revenue as your key figure. Click on finish. It will create a report. When you see here, it is creating a report, but it is giving all customer, because there you selected all customer, all calendar day. If you want to expand, please expand all. Then it will display customer 1, all customers, all calendar days. If you expand, then it will show all customers one by one months, January, February, and all. This is a way you can make your crosstab on top of OLAP cubes also. That means now you took direct your info cube as a source, and you selected all the required objects, and you made a crosstab with the customer as rows and calendar months as a column, and intersection as your key figure. Intersection as key figure. If customer want to see all customers at a time, they can see only sum of all customers. If they expand, they can see one by one customer, their respective calendar month and respective sales revenue. There's a way you can make your crystal report. There's a way you can make your OLAP cube report wizard also. So that means I talked about blank report, report wizard, crosstab, and OLAP cube report wizard. Let me create other type called as mailing label report wizard. File, new. There's a wizard called as a mailing label wizard. Let me take a mailing label wizard, mailing label report. Yes, if you want to create a mailing label, you can create mailing label report on top of SAP or Universe or WSDL URL or local data source. Wherever you want, you can create a connection in 2 minutes, but you need to know the database name, username, password. That's all. Now, anyway, this also I am creating on Universe. Make new connection. make new connection. I want to take equation and click on open. I want to create with the year, quarter, sales revenue. Then click on OK and click on add. It will ask you to select, click on next. You need to click on next. It will ask you to select the fields which you want to add into the details tab. I'm adding all into the details tab so that I can see the results for all the objects. Click on next. Then it will ask you to select the mailing label width and height. I want to put a default. Okay, click on next. If you want to apply any filter, please select that object and apply a filter. If you don't want to apply any filter for the report, click on finish. Data will be appear. That means mailing label report wizard, mailing label report is just nothing but it will give a like mailing label, not with the table, not with the crosstab. So this kind of reports they call as a mailing label. That means this report will appear like a hierarchy. Year, then quarter, then you can see your sales revenue, right? It looks like hierarchy wise, but not your column and rows. You don't have a columns here. It is not created in the table wise. So generally it will create a one by year, then quarter, then sales revenue respect to data in row wise. But here when you see, it is displaying hierarchical wise. 2001 quarter, then sales. 2001 quarter 2, then sales. That means it will be appearing as a one line, one column, not multiple columns for multiple objects. This kind of reports they call as a mailing label report wizard, mailing label reports. This is a way you can make whatever the report you want in the crystal. Whatever the report you want, you can create in the crystal. I almost all talked about all the features there in the crystal. All the features there in the crystal. Please make sure in your mind, if you want to make a blank report, just drag and connect with the crystal report. In the home page, you have a blank report. Just click on blank report. Once you click on blank report, it will take you into database expert. There you can make your connection on SAP. If you want to create SAP, please expand SAP. If you want to create on Universe, please expand Universe. If you want to create a report on XML web services, please expand XML web services, XML/web services. Then once you expanded your universes, it will take you into the dev server. In the dev server, you can see a lot of universes. Select your required universe. Then it will display all the objects there in the dev universe. And then drag and drop and make a query. Once you make a query, data will be, then you need to add a query. Once you add a query, data will be appeared in the field explorer. From there, you can drag and drop into details tab, click on preview. Later, you can apply group, summary, report filters. That means select export. And as well as you can apply chart, as well as you can apply your own formatting. That all you can. But if you go report wizard, it will give step-by-step assistance. You need not to drag and drop from field export to details tab. It will give an option for you to add a data to the report. Just you need to add a fields. This is what we discussed today, and please let me know if you have any doubts.
Unmuted.
If you have any doubts, please let me know.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, what is the document given to the BO developer, sir, to make a report?
Requirement document, business requirement document, BRD or requirement document.
Okay.
So that requirement document, they will explain what all they require. They will give, if they want table, they will give it. In the requirement document, they will give what they require. For example, you are building a building. You want to make a building. So you don't know how to make, because you are a maestri, you know how to build, but you don't know the design of the building, right?
Yes.
So Some customer will ask us to build a duplex, some customer will ask us to build a 2-bedroom, some customer will ask us a 3-bedroom. That time they need to give their requirement. Based on that requirement, we will build a home. Same way, you have a lot of options in the crystal report. Based on the customer requirement, you need to build a crystal report. They'll give a requirement document. In the requirement document, clearly they will explain what they want in the report. Either they want a table or chart, or what format they want, and where they want to see. All details they will give in the requirement document.
And even
they have a
which
separate
server,
standard, right? Sorry?
even the which server and the login credentials for the server, all are included.
All details they will give.
Okay. And
You
once
see one of my report. Sorry.
we want to see a sample of the report.
I don't have no requirement document, but generally what they will give, they'll give a report title and data source name. For example, if they have a requirement to create a report on Universe, they'll give that Universe name as a data source name, as well as they give a markup report. That means they'll give a look and feel of the report how they want, and as well as they'll give what filters they want, and they'll give all the details. Even they'll give a dev server name, dev server login credentials. Anyway, dev server name, dev server login credentials, that all you will get in the landscape document, right? Inside you get a document, one Excel sheet from the administrator. In the Excel sheet you can see dev server, QA server, production server, login details and all.
A meeting is held before this starting.
Sorry?
A meeting will be held by the TL, sir, team lead or supervisor.
Exactly. Once you are there in the real time, your TL will distribute a work. Your TL will make a plan. According to his plan, you will get a reports. For example, you have 10 reports, you have 2 resources. Then that guy, based on your proficiency level, based on your experience, he will provide a number of reports. For example, they'll give 4 for you and 6 for others also.
Okay.
And then 6 for you, 4 for others. And they'll give you timelines as well as requirement document they'll get from the customer. So based on that requirement document, you can create your report.
Okay.
If you know technology, then what requirement they want, that they will put in the requirement document.
Okay. And after the completion of report, we should send the KT, sir.
Once you completed your report, you need to export to the server, dev server, and once you exported to the dev, complete your unit testing. Once you completed your unit testing, move to the QA, ask them to test in the QA. User access the QA server.
Okay.
In the QA server, same report you migrated. So that time they will complete user acceptance testing in the QA. Once they completed user acceptance testing in the QA, then move to the production by using import wizard. Tomorrow I'll show you how to migrate reports from dev to QA, QA to PROD.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'll show you.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Once you move to the production, then customer can access from the production. So then once the report is there in the production, you need to give a user training for them to play dashboard. If you created report, right?
Okay.
You just need to explain how you created report and how they can access, what information they can see. That all details you need to explain for them. That is a user training.
Okay.
Dev to QA, QA to PROD. QA you need to give access. QA, the administrator give access for them to test. That we call as a user acceptance testing.
Okay.
Once they agreed, then you need to move to the production box. From the production box, the customer will access your report. Then you need to give a KT for them. KT for them how to access that report and all.
Knowledge transfer.
Sorry?
KT in this is knowledge transfer.
User test, just user training. For example, I gave a report, but you cannot understand my report, right?
Yes, sir.
That time, I just need to. I built a report. That time I'll give just information about that report.
Okay.
That we call as a user training. KT means knowledge transfer. Yes.
Okay.
Right.
In that case, what's the difference between what you call functional spec and a technical a functional document and a technical document?
That you have to tell for us, because already you are working, right?
No, functional document is something similar to that of a BID. And technical document is what you have designed, how you have designed. You are giving it in a proper way. I can share you one of the this one I have created.
Functional spec
Uh,
is basically what functionality you are implementing in the report is a functional test, functional document. Technical spec means that functionality you can implement by using business objects or by using other cognos or by using the specs. But in the technical spec, you need to write your technology, your functionality with the technology. For example, they want to highlight a data. How you can highlight data in the crystal? You have a highlight expert. When you talk about WebI, you can use alerts. When you talk about cognos, they have some other function. So they have some other method. That in the technical spec, you need to write a document according to your technology. That is your technical spec. For example, you are writing a variable a plus b. If you go in C, there is a separate method to write a variable. But in BO, in WebI, you have a C equals to a plus b, for example. So that function, that technology you need to write, that's all. Nothing is there. Both are same, but in technical spec, you are going to talk about the functionality with your technology. That's your technical spec.
One more thing, Murli. See, actually, this entire connection. For example, I have a Bex query. I created a Bex query. I'm bringing the Bex query into universe, converting the universe into web intelligence. From web intelligence, I'm converting into XLCS. That is, and from XLCS, I'm going to export it to a PDF file or a PowerPoint or a Word format, etc.
PDF and PowerPoint is not a dynamic report. That you can save only in the local system, but not in the repository.
Okay. So,
because it's a discontinued copy, it's not a continued copy.
It's not a continued copy. How about SWF?
You can export now. So once you make your Bex query, once you created your universe, take a query as web service connections and create your XLCS, or take a WebI report and use LiveOffice and build a XLCS dashboard. Yeah. Once you build your XLCS dashboard, go to file, export to your business objects server, business objects platform. So you can export and customer can access from in full.
No, that I agree. The question is, see, there are in the real-time scenarios there are data coming in and all these things needs to be refreshed.
So yes, that all are refreshing, right?
That's what I'm not getting it. That's where I'm struggling, because I get the data at the back end. The moment the data is uploaded, maybe periodically or every 1 hour or 2 hours or whatever it is.
I see. The thing is, we are not working for ETL, right? If there is a ETL job, every day they load data. Whenever you click refresh, the dashboard will be refreshed.
No, we have to refresh it. I'm asking you, is there a possibility to auto refresh it?
The dashboard is not for scheduling.
No. Well, let me tell you. See, ETL, that is Bex query, is getting updated. The moment the Bex query is updated, there is only you create a connection in universe, that is using Bex. Then after connection,
you want to auto replace the dashboard based on ETL. That is your question, right?
That's right.
So the thing is, dashboard we cannot schedule. There is no option for scheduling dashboard. That is what I am explaining you. You want to auto.
Not dashboard in the sense, not the PowerPoint or this one. I'm talking
about SWF also. You don't have option to schedule SWF. Only the way the customer need to open a dashboard and click preview. When they click preview, it will be refreshed.
Okay.
For example, you have a snapshot date. Every day it is running.
Yeah.
You can give a calendar date there, calendar function there. User clicks on particular calendar day, then dashboard will show that particular data. That is showing snapshot data to take analysis.
Okay, at least till XLCS.
Not like your detailed report like your WebI and Crystal.
Okay, suppose in case I want to do it, okay, as you say, it is not possible to have a dynamic update or till the SWF.
That is a dynamic update, right? Dynamic update already there. Dynamic update is that based on demand, but not by using schedule. On demand means user click refresh, that time they can see dynamic data. But you are asking to schedule and deliver to them every day or every 1 hour.
Okay, that you have clearly clarified that it is not possible. Now, till XLCS, that is before going to the preview, how to refresh the data automatically without my interference.
That time you can schedule it now in WebI. You can just right click on WebI, click it, I told you already scheduling. We talked about scheduling, right?
No, I was not there for that class.
In the info view, you need to go to that particular folder. There you have a report. Right click, there you have option called as a schedule.
Correct.
In the info view, you have option right to schedule.
Correct. I got After that, when it comes to
it will automatically deliver to the customer. Every day latest data will be delivered to the customer, right?
Okay. And then after that, when you are coming into XLCS, you have the live office connection.
Yes, live office connection, there is an option to point to the latest instance, but that is not recommended.
So how do I have a latest update on XLCS then?
That is what, so you have a WebI report. You schedule the WebI report. Latest instance you can find out. That time XLCS will find out the latest instance every day. But that is not the recommended.
Then how do we go about when it comes to XLCS?
Then you go to Excel, where you create your live office connection in Microsoft Excel, right?
Yeah.
You need to go to Excel sheet. Let me go to Excel sheet. When you see in Excel sheets, live office, options, see here you have enterprise, right? Or no, there is an option called as, let me show you, live office. Sorry, now let me create a one report. Let me take one. I think you configured this live office. Practice. You have to start your practice. Otherwise, no. Yes, I'm just trying to take a. Sorry? I'm not getting you.
Administrator spelling is incorrect.
Okay, administrator is correct. Okay, no. Okay, thanks. I selected. Now see, you have a lot of WebI reports. You can take any WebI report as a source. I'm just taking this WebI report as a source. Click on next. And I want to take this particular data as a source. Click on next. Then click on finish. That particular data will be inserted into your Excel sheet. Then go to live office. Then you have a refresh option. In the refresh option, there is an option called as a latest instance from the latest instance scheduled by. Agree? Hello? Hello?
I'm able to hear you.
See, here you have a latest instance from the latest instance scheduled by option.
Correct, yes.
That you need to enable. Because my report is not scheduled, that's why I cannot see this. If you have that option, you can enable this. If you schedule this particular WebI report, that time if you enable this, every day the Excelsius live office will go and see data from the latest instance, not original copy. You know, when you are scheduling a report, every day it will schedule one copy and it will send to OFRS. In the OFRS, it will try to fetch from the latest instance, not with the old copy. It will take from the latest instance. That option is there in the live office, but it is not recommended. Repress options. There you have a latest instance. But now you are doing on demand. That's why if the data, if you want to see in the dashboard latest, then you need to click preview. When you click preview, whenever user open the dashboard, that time on demand it will refresh the live office connection, then they can see new data. But if you want to automate, if you want to take from the latest instance of scheduled copy of the WebI, that time you need to select latest instance from the latest scheduled by option.
I think that is not recommended.
Yes.
So on demand is the best option.
Yeah, on demand is they can preview. Once they open a dashboard, they can see latest data from InfoView. This is basically for high-level management. High-level management always they don't like to take a scheduled copies to their mail. They always ask us to give a access whenever they want. Top-level management. But middle-level management, they will see WebI reports and Crystal. That time will give a chance for them to send a copy of mail every day. Other doubts? I'm going to close today and meet you tomorrow. Now almost all 6:30. Meet you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.
The organizer has ended the session, and this